Hi, Capricorn Sun and Rising. Welcome to your December 2023 Astro Update. It's Rena here. Well, obviously, Pluto is progressing a bit slowly, but it's still going forward. So that's really great for Capricorn because you've really seen the brunt of this Pluto transit for the last however many years, almost 16 years now. And so that is going to continue until the time of the sun going into Aquarius on January 20th. Then Pluto will go to 0 degrees of Aquarius on the same day. Like that begins the age of Aquarius. But, of course, you may be aware that Pluto is going retrograde also back into your sign in 2024, but we don't have to worry about that now because now we're marching forward, and that can feel good for you. And then the very first day of December, Mercury goes into your sign. And this can be a time when you really are trying to sell yourself. Mercury can be about selling, but you're selling yourself. Who are you selling yourself to? Maybe you're looking for a job and you're interviewing. Maybe you're starting a business and you have a product that you're trying to sell, and you're doing it through your own personality. People looking for love, then that's another reason. On the 4th of the month, Venus goes into Scorpio. This is at a friendly angle to you called a sextile, and it's coming from the 11th house. So when Venus has been in Libra, it's been in the 10th house. And so if you're listening to this in November, chances are that Venus has been in this 10th house. And that is very favorable for career matters because this is the house that you rule in astrology, the 10th house. And we had a solar eclipse in Libra in mid-October, and that was in the same house. So that may have advanced. Maybe you got more money, like a raise or some kind of benefit from an authority figure. And now Venus is in the 11th house, and this is great for money too, because, Venus is one of those planets like Jupiter that can be about money. Venus rules the second house of earned income, so it could be about money. It also can be about love. I'll talk about that in a second, but in terms of money, the 11th house is a house of gains. So that means the gains through your profession, the gains through your business, and this could be a time when you really start to clean up. And it just so happens to be the holiday season, so what a perfect time for it. In the 11th house, Venus can be meeting a love interest through your circle of friends, through your social, activities, through the groups that you belong to. This could just simply be you having fun with friends. On the 6th, Neptune turns direct at almost 25 degrees of Pisces. Again, this is another sextile, but in the opposite direction, in the 3rd house. Neptune retrograde in the 3rd house may have brought some sort of sobering or disillusionment when it came to your mind as a whole. Maybe you've been thinking very idealistically, very creatively, very spiritually, and you had some kind of, what do they call that? Reality check. And it's interesting because I don't know if it's not is it the millennial generation? or the generation after that. I think it's the millennials that have Neptune and Capricorn. And so you already have Neptune in this very realistic kind of a sign, what I'd call a hard-boiled sign. And so Neptune going direct in Pisces for Capricorn people can almost be like a similar effect where you were able maybe to have this kind of more ever since you've had this, and this has been since about 2012, some of you may have had mystical experiences that are connected to meditation experiences. You may have had great ideas. This is the house of the mind, but more of the mundane mind, but great ideas about things that, like artistic projects, for instance. And then when Neptune goes retrograde in a particular house, you say to yourself, I don't know if this is really going to work. And so there's always that doubt. Now, that doubt doesn't necessarily have to stay there. And now that Neptune is direct, anything that you've had to kind of really face the truth about, now you can move forward and you can have your dreams back. But it's not necessarily La La Land. It can be something that's actually feasible. On the 12th, we have a new moon at 20 degrees of Sagittarius. Sag is a sign before you, so this is going to be in your 12th house. So this is Pisces domain. So here's another Piscean influence. The new moon in the 12th house can make it so that you are birthing. This is the womb of creation. So any kind of ideas that you have about what you want to accomplish in the coming year, this is the first place. So this is even more intentional than when the new moon goes into your sign, because then you can implement them right away. Whereas now this is the time to incubate the kind of things that you want to see starting in 2024 when you have your new moon on the 11th of January. Because the very next day, on the 13th, Mercury goes retrograde at 8 degrees of Capricorn in your sign, in the first house. So actually, in January, that's going to be a time when we're going to have a green light portal, when technically we would say when all the planets are direct, and Uranus isn't going to go direct until like the 27th, I think, maybe that's the 25th or 27th of January of 2024. And then we can officially say all the planets are direct, but it's an outer planet, so it's not really as influential. But Mercury goes retrograde on the 13th of December and goes direct on the 1st of January. So when you have your new moon in your sign, Capricorn, this is going to be a time when all the planets are direct, including Mercury, except for Uranus. So just rethinking something about your life as a whole. Is this Mercury retrograde in your sign, Capricorn? And on the 21st, we have the winter solstice. The sun goes into your sign, your solar return period. Just if you're interested in when this is officially occurring, it's going to be at 9:27 p.m. Central Standard Time, which means that if you are in Europe or you're down under, it will happen on the 22nd of the month. Of December. This is a power period, obviously. In the Northern Hemisphere, the sun is going to start to get stronger. And since I live here, I always like that feeling, that whether you want to call it symbolism or the reality of it. And I swear this is true, but I always feel like at the last week of the month or the last few days of December that I could feel that it's getting lighter, even though it probably is only getting lighter by a minute or two, a few minutes. But I think like, oh wow, it's getting so light. And in the southern hemisphere, the summer solstice is the apex or the peak of that light. So it's a power period in that regard, and also because it's one of these season changes, and the sun is going into a cardinal sign, and cardinal signs are signs of action. So that can be the case for that as well. On the 23rd, we have the retrograding Mercury going back into Sagittarius. So it goes back into your 12th house. So don't be surprised if you start to have like thoughts, old thoughts, or even old fears, because the 12th house is the house of the unconscious mind. So things that are not on the surface of your mind, but you can still be triggered at a deep level, are part of the 12th house, a part of that Piscean, that Neptunian karmic part of the zodiac, the house of solitude, the house of past lives. You might be really maybe even dreaming of past lives. Who knows? This is the 12th house is the house of the dream state. On the 26th, we have a full moon at 4 degrees 58 minutes, so basically 5 degrees of Cancer. And this is your opposite sign, Capricorn. So full moons can bring something into the open that has been hidden regarding your relationship. If you're single, this could be an insight about relationships for you. Maybe you have this aha moment about why you haven't been able to sustain a relationship. But if there have been other factors, and certainly with Pluto in your sign, this may have been a time when you have changed dramatically over the years, and this may have put a strain on any kind of committed partnership because it's opposing that house. And you're really coming into your own power for some of you with Pluto in your sign. And now that it has, gone retrograde, that can bring up those old things. I was going to say old wounds, but I don't necessarily think they're wounds. They may just be the shadow aspects that need to be integrated, that you are moving forward, and maybe that means that a relationship has to end. I don't believe this is going to randomly happen. I think that it will be relationships that are already dying on the vine. On the 30th, we have Jupiter going direct at 5 degrees of Taurus, and this is a fellow Earth sign. So this has been a great transit for you because it trines your sun or your ascendant, Capricorn, and guess where this is coming from? The 5th house of romance. So could there be some connection between that full moon in the 7th house and Jupiter turning direct in the 5th? Yes, I do believe there can be, because that might mean that maybe you tried to make a relationship work and you really realize that it's over with, and you're like, okay, bring it on. Jupiter in the 5th can be an abundance of dating partners. Jupiter is also, or the 5th house is also the house of creativity. This can be a time when Jupiter is in your 5th of being very prolific with creative projects. And you can have a lucky break with some kind of artistic endeavor as well. Okay, that's what I have for you, Capricorn. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, I'm promoting my double astrological readings called my deep dive readings, which are perfect for people who, especially who are approaching or in their solar return, their birthday period, because that's the time when we typically are thinking ahead to the next year. And so it's an hour of natal chart analysis and an hour of transits for the upcoming 12 months for a special price as a package deal. I have a couple of other package deals, including one with that double reading plus a full-length tarot reading called the Whole Enchilada for a discounted price. And, individual readings like career life path type of readings and love, like relationship readings. You can find out more information at the link below. I'm at RainaMoonAstrology.com. Thanks for listening. Bye.